we're having some trouble with your microphone, Jim. So just hold on. It's Robbie Horton, or Robbie Skaggs, I should say. He tries to hold on here to the 150.
He's just getting tuned up off the start, too, with all those KTMs out horsepower him to the corner, but he was patient, able to work his way around in one of the rhythm sections before the sand, and he's still got a lot of company back there. He can't make a mistake right here. He's going to drop 2 positions, not 1.
Aloft in third. Kelly Smith with the KTM moving into second place there, number 41. Of course, Kelly made himself famous in St. Louis last year when he led 14 3/4 laps before Fonseca came calling.
That was a case where Fonseca just thought he could thread that needle and fit through there, and he just came up about a couple inches short. And really mean to make that happen. Kelly was not too happy about it, and kind of went back and forth of having the crowd on his side and not having him on his side because he was so irritated. A lot of people were liking the fact that Fonseca was able to come from so far behind to make that pass. It was an exciting race. It's too bad for Kelly.
The interesting portion here is normally we would see 4 125 riders advance to the main event out of the last chance qualifier, but now with the 125 shootout, we only have 2 that qualify from East, the West, and the East divisions. Let's go down to Robbie.
An arena cross champion, Buddy Antunez, and Buddy, you had a little talk with Jeremy. What do you have to say to a guy who's the winningest rider of all time at Supercross?
Shoot, I mean, what can you say to Jeremy McGrath other than to go out there and have fun? The guy's amazing on the track, and you know, I was just watching a few guys and just talking to him about what he was thinking, and he said he's just trying a few different lines out there. I look for Jeremy to be fast and strong in the 20-lap main, you know, for sure.
Well, I know you were ending the series on a high note, but you actually had a crash and you were injured. I know you wanted to be here in Vegas and prove to everybody that the 4-time arena cross champion has what it takes to win here.
Thanks, Robbie. Yeah, I'd like to be out here racing for Suzuki and all my sponsors, and you know, unfortunately, wasn't able to, but I'm here watching, and it's a lot of fun. It's great to come out here and just relax and enjoy the show.
Well, the Bud man's supporting his good friend Jeremy McGrath, and he says he might have been taking it a little bit easy, so we'll have to see when that main event comes around.
I think it would have been interesting to see Buddy try some Supercross this year after that 4th consecutive Arena Cross Championship, but of course he had to take care of the off-season surgery. But
now he's becoming the Jeremy McGrath of the Arena Cross series. He's been pretty unstoppable lately, and I really don't see any guys that have the experience he has, and obviously he's got some intimidation in his favor as well. He should be able to win another. Skaggs still got a lot of company there. Kelly trying to wheelie through that whoop section. He keeps getting close through here, but he can't make a pass.
Still in second behind Robbie Skaggs. Husqvarna trying to make a mark here, but win the LCQ.
Well, if you can't just get right around, at least stay real close, make the guy worry. And Skaggs made a little mistake there, but he's able to recover.
Back of the pits. Even Jeremy McGrath's watching this one.
It's a little dark in there.
The lounge.
I think what they're probably doing is reviewing that videotape from the heat race to figure out why the heck Kevin was able to pull out to an 8-second lead. I haven't really ever seen that happen to Jeremy, so he's got to be a little concerned, and I'm sure he's going to rectify that problem. It sounds like it was a little bit to do with the bike and trying to get traction. And like Jeremy always does, he'll fix it for the main.
White flag is out. Robbie Skaggs and Kelly Smith on their way, unless a mistake is made, to the 125 main event for the shootout.
Down here on this section of the racetrack, where they actually go out of the stadium, Skaggs always has a little bit of a lead, but as they get through this, entering back into the stadium, there's a potential triple right there leading into a big one. As they get to the other end, Kelly always closes back up again, which is good because they're approaching the finish. Listen to the throttle through there. Just getting beat. It takes so much strength to get through those loops, and you're still trying to make a right-hand turn the whole time, and as you lean over a little bit, the tops of those loops, here's Randy Lawrence talk about how slippery they are. They're slick there in the same way they are on this section, and they're trying to turn at the same time.
Skaggs, after not qualifying for the opener, has raced in all the remaining 125 East events. His best was an 8th in St. Louis, and right now he takes the checkered flag as Kelly Smith tried the inside move, but it just didn't work. But Kelly also will be going to the 125 shootout main event, placing second place in this last chance qualifier for the 125 East. There you have it, the wrenchhead.com results page presented by Toyota Trucks, EA Sports Supercross, Robbie Skaggs, and Kelly Smith. The work is continuing in the pits right now as we check out the pit camera. And they're looking at Jeremy McGrath. That's Steve Butler, the main liaison with Team Yamaha, the factory. And Randy Lawrence just double checking every nut and bolt. Let's go to Davey Coombs.
Well, Robbie, you got to feel relieved. You made the big trip out here to Las Vegas, and you're going to the main event.
Yeah, we've had a rough year and had a little bit of a bad start in my heat race. Got the whole shot in the last chance and held on for the win. I'm really stoked to be in the main here in Vegas.
Hey, how's it going to be to get Alessio Chiotti on the team with you next week?
That's going to be a learning experience. He's really fast. He's a 3-time world champion, and I'm just going to try to learn as much as I can.
Good job. We'll watch you in the main, Robbie.
Thanks.
Watching this race all the way and sitting with us, and it's such a pleasure now. I think we've got our mic problems settled. Jimmy Button. Jimmy Button, please repeat to the many, many fans worldwide on our DirecTV how things are coming along after that tragic accident in Phoenix.
Things are coming really great. My trainer has been with me, Corey War's been with me the whole time, and you know, my family's been behind me 100%, as well as Yamaha and everybody else, all my fans, and therapy's going great. I'm making you know, outstanding progress. You know, my hands are working, my legs are working, and you know, I'm here walking around in Vegas, and it's a great thing.
You want to call the race with me?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's check it out, see who gets the whole shot here. We've got Shae Bentley, the last chance qualifier, but that's Burkhardt, number 188. Burkhardt, you might recall, got the whole shot of the qualifier, but he faded back.
You know what? I don't even see Shae out there.
I think that's a mistake on the lineup sheet. I think Shae got 9th and qualified. It is. So disregard the last comment, Jimmy. Didn't mean to mislead you on your first announcing appearance.
Oh, that's all right.
Well, Burkhardt has had good fast starts in the past, and he shows us once again that he's got the speed.
Yeah, for sure. I've you know, been catching everything on ESPN2, and you know, it's been great to see these new kids come up, and you know, the KTMs are doing really well this year, and it's great to see another you know, manufacturer in there, and you know, mixing it up with the, you know, the top 4.
Well, we've really got a close battle right here. Jason McCormick, number 36, is on the trail of this train. Keith Johnson and Isaiah Johnson, and of course that's Isaiah right there. Isaiah doing a pretty good job this year, has a podium on the season. But of course, Keith Johnson, number 57, coming back from injury. And look at that, number 68. And that's Isaiah and Keith really going at it, scratching some plastic here in the last chance qualifier for the West.
Yeah, they're going after each other out there. It's a great race. I got to ride a little bit with Isaiah in Switzerland this year at an international race, and really good kid. It's good to see him out there mixing it up.
There you see the order of things here on the EA Sports results. As we've got number 68, Isaiah Johnson in second place. For sure, of course, there's only 2 spots available. If Burkhardt can stay out in first, this is the bubble right here we're looking at.
It's going to be interesting to see what kind of last lap maneuvers get taking place here.
Now, you've been talking to a lot of people. You've been talking to Jeremy almost every day. What do you think about the Man's Triple Crown coming up?
I think it's great that, you know, it's gone on, and that, you know, David's won the first 2, and, you know, brought it before when they've had it. You know, Ezra's won 1 or Jeremy's won 1, and it's always, you know, kind of lost its helium in the balloon a little bit. And it's great to see David's got the chance to do it. I think it'd be awesome if he won the race. For one, he's my teammate. That'd be great, but I think it'd just be great to see somebody take home some big money like that.
You've been in situations like this, you know, there are instances where there's 1 spot available and you got a battle, and it looks like right now that Isaiah has got the upper hand on Keith. He's having trouble through the whoops.
For sure, it's, you know, this is one place you never want to be in a Supercross race. You never want to be in that last chance. It's always scary going into the first corner, and when you're on the bubble position, you know, you're always thinking someone's on your back, and, you know, of course, everyone wants to get into that main event. You might have some bad luck in a heat race or whatever, and you just want to make it in. So, you know, that bubble position is not the best place to be in the last chance qualifier.
What about the sand section, Jim? You've been through a lot of sand in your day.
It's good. It's really good. It's, you know, it slows the pace down. You know, not always whoops. They're changing, you know, every single lap. I know last year in Indianapolis was a huge section of sand, and it was really deep, and it changed every single lap. And I think, you know, quite a few people made mistakes there. I think I was fortunate enough to get through it every lap without going down, and you know, stuff like that is great to see on Supercross track. It just divides everything up.
Jimmy Button, you've faced a lot of challenges on the track, but you've got the biggest challenge of your life right now.
For sure, it's been an eye-opening experience, that's for sure. And you know, I've been talking to David, and I've talked to quite a few people who've been in this position, and David just told me to keep trying as hard as I can and, just try to do the best that I can. And, I'm just trying to, uphold that, and everything's working out really well. I've been fortunate enough that my injury wasn't so bad that, it was going to be impossible for me to recover, but it's been a difficult road, but, I think I'm up to the challenge, and I'm, working as hard as I can to, get my body back on track.
Well, you've had a lot of prayers going your direction, partner, and it's wonderful to see you in such good health right now.
For sure, it's been great to see. You always know you're popular and the fans like it, but I tell you what, when something like this happens to you, it's an eye-opening experience to see how many people really do care about you in the industry and the people outside the industry. It's been great. Everyone's been just awesome to me, and trying to do the best things that they can, whether it be just writing a note to me or sending me a card or flowers or whatever it's been. Everything that everyone's been doing for me has really been keeping me positive and has made this whole experience bearable for me. So I appreciate everything that everybody's done for me, and hopefully everyone that's out there listening to the telecast will understand that I just really appreciate everything they've done.
Jimmy, thanks for joining us here in the booth. The final lap is underway from Mark Burkhardt, and it looks like he's got this LCQ for the 125 West pretty well sewed up. A terrific thanks for Jimmy to make his way up to the press box. And rubbing fenders, all kinds of action out. Keith Johnson in front of Isaiah Johnson, and the checkered flag is waving. Let's see who's going to take that second spot. It's number 68, Isaiah Johnson, finally, after they had all kinds of rubbing there in the whoops before the final checkered flag. Let's go down to Davey Combs. Davey.
I'm down here with the team manager for AM Leonard, and actually tonight he's also the mechanic for Mark Burkhardt. This is Kirk Patel. Kirk, you guys got in.
Yeah, Mark's done a great job. He wasn't even feeling well due to the temperature, and I'm really proud of him. He's coming off injuries. He's a great kid, but all of our kids are great. And we have two managers. I'm actually the technical manager, and we have Sid Carter's the logistics managers. But I'm really happy for Mark because he really dug down deep for that one. Thanks, Dave.
So an exciting action even in the last chance qualifiers of the 125. They want to get into that mix of the shootout, David Bailey.
Absolutely.
Take another look at this last lap. It's awesome.
Well, he gets a little out of control right there. He talked about how slippery those whoops are. Now watch behind him. These guys are getting together. They're fighting for the same line. Isaiah Johnson gets crossed up into one of those tough blocks.
But then Isaiah comes back. And Isaiah comes back to be the final qualifier out of the 125 East. We're getting set now for the 125 West riders.
That 125 last chance qualifier looks a little different than usual. That's because of the different format for this East-West shootout. Normally you'd see the line full. That's why there's not as many riders to qualify out of the last chance qualifier, and those guys are fighting for position. If there's only 4 or 5 guys on the track, you don't want to be 4th or 5th. You want to be up there getting into the main event.
Well, here you have the wrenchhead.com official results with Mark Burkhardt and Keith Johnson getting in front of Isaiah Johnson as far as the official count is concerned. And so they must have been pretty close over that finish line. So we've got the semifinal now for the 250s. Doug DeHaan, Travis Hodges, Ryan Terlecki.
See Mike Craig right here on the right-hand side. Just to hit the inside of him is Heath Voss. He's got our onboard camera and the sign sideways. Oh, Voss gets stuck in the gate. That's what it looks like. Those gates fall individually. He went too early.
Amazing. Our helmet cam stuck in the gate. He was probably pretty anxious to get out there. Number 51 is Jason Thomas. He's the Iron Man. He's been in 7 events where he has qualified for both the 125 and the 250. Number 11 is Chris Young, a Californian on the Suzuki.
Jason Thomas just fighting around the outside, that powder berm, trying so hard to work his way into the lead. Disappears. He's got Mike Craig back there. He's going to be knocking on that door if he can't get around into the lead here quickly. That guy rides Jason Thomas. I mean,
is he amazing?
Talk about a guy that's riding a lot of laps in practice. He's hopping on a 125, back onto the 250, back onto the 125, and here he is leading.
He's a bulldog of a rider. Not only 7 times has he made both 125 and 250 events, but he's also made several separate events throughout the season. We can forget Atlanta when he went over the berm leading the LCQ. Oh, and Jason Thomas goes down in the whoops. And taking over things is number 49. That's Pedro Gonzalez out of Monterrey, Mexico.
Well, right behind Thomas as they entered the corner, Gonzalez and Craig got together. Gonzalez got the better end of that.
Ted Campbell went down, number 96.
And a mistake by the leader.
Thomas up and running again, number 51, out of Melrose, Florida. He is a true privateer, drives a van from city to city. Take another look and see what happened here to Jason.
Oh, he's cruising through that whoop section. Everything's going good. I think he got a little sideways there. Hits one. The suspension just completely rebounds the other way, throws him off. And over to the left, Gonzalez had just won a battle in the corner with Mike Craig. Just picks up the lead because he wasn't following.
Looked like he was on a bucking Bronco right now as we go on to our onboard and Heath Voss.
Well, this is all great news for Heath Voss with all these guys out front battling with each other, crashing. It's going to help him get up into a spot. He just needs to get in the top 5 to make the main.
Gonzalez, Chris Young, Michael Craig, Heath Voss, the top 4 right now.
So Craig is sitting right up front there for a moment while Voss was in last. Now Voss is making his move.
Heath Voss, number 33 on the inside. Michael Craig, number 43. He kind of looks to the side. He looked to the side to see if Craig was next to him, and now takes off on the straightaway.
He wanted to make sure in the air that Craig wasn't having ideas of coming down the inside for that block pass. If he had of, Voss would have crossed that bike up in the air a little bit, aimed to the inside upon landing, and sort of cut off that passing opportunity.
Voss usually keeps his eyes right down there on the track, as we've noted from the helmet cam, because it's mounted right on top of the helmet. And that's kind of the first time I think he was that curious to look to the side.
You don't want to get somebody coming underneath you like that. You don't want to leave the door open right there. He was just checking it out to make sure.
Voss, number 33, moving up a notch. Oh, this is a great ride for him.
Up over the triple, double into the corner. He'll go wide. Get a little run at these whoops. They try to jump that double in the middle of these. Goes back to the inside. Give Craig any opportunity to come back on him.
Voss was the top privateer in 4 individual races of the season, including Dallas, which was 2 races ago for him.
Hey, what a ride this would be. He's closing in on Gonzalez for the lead. So we're going to see it all.
Here comes Heath Voss, battling number 49. Gonzalez comes over the finish line jump first as they've got more laps to go. Heath Voss is right on his tail. What a shot. Pedro Gonzalez was a runner-up in the 125s, winning in San Jose 1 year, and then he got an injury, a practice injury in Mexico, and just didn't respond rapidly, getting back into top shape like he was.
Well, from that shot on top of Voss's helmet, you see a little bit of fuzz, and they lose the signal as they go outside the stadium. When they come back and you go to it, there's a little bit of a fuzz in the middle of that shot. And that's because a piece of dirt has been roosted off the bike in front of him, messed up the lens a little bit. You can see how it's a little bit out of focus. That's what you have to deal with goggles. It's no different. That's why these guys pull those tearaways off in the air to try to clear their vision again. Otherwise, they're looking at this. It's very difficult to see the line.
I was searching my memory for the year that he was second in the 125 West. It was 1994 that Pedro Gonzalez took second in the points, winning in San Jose.
Watch what happens through the whoops right here. Gonzalez has been going to the right. Voss is going to come down the middle with all that strength. Look at that.
Ah, the Bulldog. Heath Voss guy has the inside, too. Can he block him out and retake the lead? Heath Voss does, to the cheer of the fans.
How's that? We're taking you with us from last to first in a semi. What a ride by Voss.
Oh, this is terrific.
I'm actually we're gonna have to thank him for getting stuck in that gate just to show people what it's like when you go early.
Boy, I'd like to see that pass again, wouldn't you, David? Right here it is.
Nice block pass right there at the end of the whoop section. The problem with the line that Gonzalez has down the right side of the whoops is that if you don't get through there quick enough, you open the door at the end of the straightaway, and Voss rode right through it.
Heath Voss in Chicago, the last race, he tied Michael Craig's mark, which was the best privateer finish of the year at the time, a 9th place. And so he's on a roll for a privateer. Well, explain, David Bailey, what a privateer, what it really means in this game.
Well, a factory-sponsored rider, you get the most special parts for your bike. Everything is different. The brakes are better. The suspension is better. You can make more adjustments to the bike throughout the night. a little bit more power, a little bit better power. Of course, you're coming out of the semi. Everyone's doing everything for you. For Voss, he's working on his own bike. He's working on his practice bikes. He doesn't have the luxury of sitting in that semi and looking at videos like we're seeing McGrath doing throughout the course of tonight. It's a lot more work for you. And you don't get to go to that starting line knowing that everything you have under you is the best equipment and you're rested and ready.
Not only that, but you usually have 4 qualifying races to run. And that puts more wear and tear on the bike you do have, as we're on the white flag lap for Heath Voss.
Last lap, first, good. I'd say, coming from last place, he doesn't have a lot of the factory stars in the semi, but still it's a fine ride to come from last.
Heath has won the semifinal round before this year, and he's won 4 semifinals already. This would be number 5, of course, and a well-earned one, as he had a great battle with Pedro Gonzalez to go back on board.
Over the triple. 2 laps right up there going to the inside. He'll go wide. This is the line he's been using anyway. He's around that lap rider, no problem. Back to the inside. So he's been consistent. The lines he's using now that he's got a clear track are the same ones he was using when he was working his way through the pack. Looking up into the crowd.
Heath also had a 10th at St. Louis. And when you get 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, you're in the top privateer range right there.
That 9th last week was a big boost for him.
The checkers for Heath Voss, and his crew couldn't be happier. Heath getting some factory connection support, and there you see a good shot of the camera where it's placed up there. Let's go down to Davey Combs. Davey, you got a happy guy with you?
That's right, Art. I'm with Sean Ward. Sean, that had to have given you a lot of excitement watching your iron get stuck in the gate like that.
Yeah, at first I saw him stuck in the gate, and I'm like, oh, but you mean he's really pumped tonight and wants to do well. He could secure 10th if he gets a good finish tonight in the main, and I mean, it's going to be his night.
Let's go over to Robbie Floyd.
You remember the Supercross series, the EA Sports 2000 Supercross series started off without one of his brightest stars. Jeff Emig was injured a week before the first round at Anaheim. Well, he was looking forward to the outdoor nationals, but a practice crash at Glen Helen has also cost him. He had a compound fracture in his leg and also some back injuries. 8 hours in surgery yesterday, and with me is his manager, Tony Strangio. And Tony, he also has some back problems. Tell us what the current situation is with Jeff right now.
The current situation is that Jeff did have some injuries to his lower back, and he had some vertebrae damage. And they went in there today and just repaired him. And he's been in surgery for most of the day today, and it's over with now, and now he's just time to recoup and get well.
Really no luck for Jeff at all this year.
Yeah, no luck at all. I mean, he was so pumped to come back from his wrist. We didn't even think they were going to heal like they did, and they did. And, you know, he's ready to go. He was ready to go.
Well, Davey, I know your prayers are out for him, too. Bad luck for Jeff.
Thank you, Robbie. As we go up top now with the 250 semifinal number 2. Let's go back to Davey now, who's with a very happy guy as well, and the winner of that last round.
Real quick, Heath, was that the most exciting semi you ever rode?
Yeah, I just went a little bit too quick and the gate fell and I got stuck in the gate, but it was a good race. It was really muddy and slick. Almost slid out a few times and went through a lot of tear-offs and stuff, but it was a lot of fun.
Heath Voss, our winner, as we take a look at the results page now, brought to you by EA Sports and Honda. Voss, Gonzalez, Craig, and Thomas. Thomas getting back into qualifying position after he went down. A tremendous race by Jason Thomas. Number 65, Grayson Goodman. Check him out as the board is sideways, and we're all set to go for semi number 2. Grayson had a long way to come from that outside, but he's about 5th position as the battle up front is with Lewis, number 112. And also 410, Travis Hodges out of Albuquerque, New Mexico on the Kawasaki. It's Hodges having trouble. Kyle Lewis trying to take advantage of it as they go outside the stadium.
You see how sideways Hodges got getting out of that corner. That's what Voss was talking about. What they did was they put a little bit of water down on the racetrack, which they needed to do. But that first couple of laps, when the water's there on this hard, slick surface, it makes it even slicker. I'd rather be able to see where I was going, though, and slide a little bit than have it in dust.
Boy, that was some rough action just to hold on to the bike and keep it upright. Take another look at it.
Well, look at Grayson Goodman there on the outside. He knows he can't get into the corner. He just slows down. He doesn't want to get caught up in anything. The guys may get pushed wide up over into those speed stick tough blocks. You see all the guys bunching up to the inside right there. So it was a smart decision by Goodman, who normally gets hole shots, to just back off and play it safe. Right now he's running 4th.
Binkley, one of those tied up in that first turn crash as number 62 is trying to make a move.
Goodman working his way right up into the thick of things.
And that's Pavoni, 62. Tortelli getting in the mix right there. There's not enough room on that racetrack.
These guys do not want to have to go to the last chance qualifier. They're using more than the racetrack they've been given. Goodman at the front of this freight train battle right here. The next guy he's got in his sights is Pavoni running third, and Pavoni won his first semi of his career last week in Joliet.
Number 65, Grayson Goodman. This is the last race of the flying career by Grayson. He's been in the game a long time, but decided, hey, I've got a family. I've got a home building business waiting for me in Dallas with my brother and my father, and it's just time that I should take consideration and go for it. Look at that. What a jump. A great leap by number 204. That's Dowd. Mickey number 53 and Dowd number 204. Dowd trying to move up on that Honda.
I talked with Goodman yesterday about this being his last race, and I said, hey, just go out there and just savor it. Look up in the crowd, and, just soak it all up. He goes, oh, I have been. He goes, and I was looking up there, really enjoying it, just enjoying the fact that I'm being out there on the track with the greatest riders in the world. He goes, I didn't even ride the second practice. I've just been having a great time this week.
Let's take a look at the action from the last lap. Goodman was involved in that as well, 65.
Well, Tortelli just takes the corner a little bit wide, gets all the way out, doesn't leave any room.
Todd Downs went sliding into the tough block.
Probably one of the slickest sections on the racetrack right there. Look at these guys. They're getting on the power. They're not getting any traction at all. That was the problem McGrath was having with a tire that he was gambling on, thinking it would hook up even better, and it was worse.
65, Grayson Goodman continues to hunt down James Pavoni, who's in third place. It's Kyle Lewis, our leader, and Grayson Goodman currently in fourth.
He stays there, he'll make the main. He's got some company back there, but Grayson should be able to hang on. I know he'd like to make the main in his last race. He does not want to have to watch this from the stands. He's still got the last chance qualifier after this race if something would happen. He wants to go that far.
And of course, after qualifying, Supercross fans, we've got the 125 shootout, the best of the East and the West, and then the final race of the man's triple crown of $500,000 resting on the outcome for David Vuillemin should he win it. Grayson Goodman running a fine race here in the semifinal.
He's starting to pull away from this pack a little bit. I think he's starting to set his sights more on Pavoni up in front of him in third.
Ryan Tortelli is currently in fifth. That is the last qualifying position, but coming on strong is Dowd. He would love to knock him off and get into the main and avoid going to the last chance qualifier.
Not only Dowd, but you got Hedden back there, Clark. You guys are all close enough. So look, he's going to have to be mistake-free here. All the way over the big tunnel, onto the downside. Not that aggressive through that corner. He's not going out and using the berm. And the reason for that is the berm is all loose dirt that's gotten pushed. It's pushed all the way into the fence. So you run the risk of getting a foot peg caught in the chain link out there because the track has gotten so wide.
Boy, Dowd loves that jump as he's pursuing now Grayson Goodman. He just jumped by and is taking on Goodman now. Dowd looking sharp. Look out, Grayson.
Grayson's been pretty steady through this whoop section, and the fact that he's got this pressure now, he's picked it up a little bit this whole battle. Look how close they've gotten out of 62 Pavoni.
Kyle Lewis, Travis Hodges, James Pavoni, the top three. Grayson Goodman fourth. Dowd in fifth. Dowd is number 204.
A little bit off the edge of the racetrack right there. These guys are running the left side down that straightaway, and if you make a little bit of a mistake, you don't have much racetrack left, and you're running right on the edge like that. All it takes is to just get a little bit off line, lose your balance, you go off the track, and you're definitely going to have to go to the last chance qualifier. These guys are just trying to find a better line. They're starting to develop some ruts out there, some little potholes, slick spots. These guys are searching for the best traction.
Can Goodman hold on? 2 laps to go. And number 204 wants to get by. 65, 204, bar to bar. There comes Dahan again. Dahan, who has not raced this well all year long, is taking advantage of several riders.
He's riding excellent. I really like this racetrack. I've never seen him get up there and just make Goodman look slow like that, but he made that pass look easy. Goodman's jumping the triple as well.
This would be the first 250 that Doug Dahan has qualified all season long. The final lap is underway. Kyle Lewis, our leader still. Hodges in second, Pavoni in third. And Doug Dahan has moved up into fourth.
And now Goodman, he just got passed by Dahan, runs the risk of getting passed by Hedden back there in the Kawasaki's. So Goodman cannot relax much more. He's going to have to go to that last chance qualifier.
Grayson Goodman still in fifth.
Reminds me a little bit of the LA Coliseum. We go up the peristyle and able to fight in the third and fourth gear up the hill. It's a little bit darker as you go out of the stadium, then you re-enter right here. Look at all the people. It's a little bit lonely out there, out back. You come back to the stadium and hear all that cheer and it pumps you up.
Grayson Goodman in the final qualifying spot in fifth.
A little bit of a cushion, but he still has that roof section, and anything can happen through there. There's Kyle Lewis.
The checkered flag for Kyle Lewis.
On the race for Kyle, he's doing 1:14 lap time to the 1:17 of this pack back here.
And there's Pavoni 62, and Doug Dahan 204, and Grayson Goodman number 65. Grayson Goodman trying to hold off Jeff Hedden now and qualify for the main event, and he does so.
Barely.
Whoa, just capturing that number 5 position. But Kyle Lewis, his best was a 10th at Indy, and he's been right in there with wonderful privateer performances. Let's go down to Davey.
Well, I'm down here with Ross Miles, and this is Kyle's mechanic. Ross, you got to be excited. You guys going to the main event.
Yeah, it's good to get in the main. It's our first semi win, and this weekend was a hard weekend. We struggled a lot with jetting and being, warm here with not much air. And so it's good to see we finally got things together, and hopefully we can do something in the main.
Good luck.
Thanks a lot, David.
Checking out the results now in what was really a great race for qualifying. Don't forget, out of the top 5, they have to go on to the last chance qualifier. Lewis, Hodges, Pavoni, Dahan, and Grayson Goodman holding on. Let's go back to Davey.
I got to tell you, Kyle, Eric and Jordan and Kurt and all the guys at Moto Triple X got to be really excited to have a rider of your caliber out there. You got, what, 3 Japanese national championships?
Yeah, I ended up with 2 national championships over in Japan. Too bad it's the last race to put the Moto Triple X bike up front there. I just had a great time out there, Davey. I've been working on a couple new sponsors. I have tickets.com looking at me, running the sticker tonight. They're pretty stoked. I don't know, it's good to be up in the front in the semi. Better start position for the main. Just wish it was not the last race. But I've had fun all season. Hopefully next year I'll be able to put it up front a little bit further. I'd like to thank all my sponsors this year. O'Neill, HAC helmets, Dunlop tires, Smith goggles, especially the guys from Moto Triple X. They put up a big effort for me. I want to thank them. And Pace, and you, Dave, you guys do a great job. Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. It's good to have you back in America.
Thanks a lot.
Boy, you could sure tell how hot it is down there in those races, even though you get a lot of breeze with the perspiration on Kyle Lewis's face, David Bailey.
Well, when you're riding, you got that little bit of breeze, but as soon as you stop, that heat catches up with you, and you can see he's a little bit out of breath and sweating. And he didn't have to ride that hard. He had the lead. Gives you a little peek into what's going to happen in the main event. A longer lap time than usual by about 10 seconds.
Well, Grayson Goodman makes the main event. It'll be his last, as we explained. After running with the big boys, he's headed home for good. We say goodbye to an old Supercross friend tonight in Las Vegas. After more than a decade of racing, Grayson Goodman is retiring with a ton of great memories.
The best thing I'm going to take away with me is the friendships I've developed over the years, and traveling to different countries, and just touring the world, really meeting great people, not just in America but all over the world. I have good friends in Brazil that I talk to on the phone still once a month at least, and the friendships, I'm definitely going to stay with a certain group of friends that I've developed over the years that are my best friends, and I won't lose contact with them.
I mean, Grayson's one of my best friends, and it's going to be a sad thing not to see him at the races every weekend with me and all of our friends. our sport is kind of like, you know, no matter what anyone says, it's kind of like a family. You know, we grow up with each other, you know, 8-9 years on the tour every year, and it's like having brothers and sisters, you know, every weekend at the track. And you know, I mean, I'm not a youngster in my career anymore either, and I kind of think about those things every once in a while. And it's going to be tough for him, but he'll do well in his transition. He's got a lot of drive, and he's got a good family, and you know, he's a dad now, so that maybe takes priority.
A 6-month-old baby girl in a family home building business will keep Grayson busy once he retires. He'll certainly have his hands full. Although we'll see him at a few of the races as a spectator, he won't be looking for a ride. Grayson Goodman is walking away proud of his accomplishments.
If you look at it week in, week out, you know, there's only 20 guys who can make the final, and just about every weekend I'm in the final, so I'm really proud of what I've done. You know, there's what, 30 to 90 spots to be quarterback in the NFL, so I figure if I'm doing that, you know, I'm doing some good numbers in comparison to the rest of the world, you know, what I've done for the sport. Of course, you always want to win, you know, when you go out there, but unfortunately there's only that one spot, and you know, I'm not able to reach that in 250 Supercross, which is the pinnacle of our sport in my eyes. So, you know, I've gave it my all, and I'm going to move on to something else. You know, I'll take my memories with me and my friendships with me and go on to the next step in life.
So Goodman leaves with a long history in Supercross and Arena Cross. He wasn't a top-ranked rider, but few could beat him into turn 1, and he gave us some wonderful racing memories. Some of the great fans here, the sellout crowd at Sam Boyd Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada, as they're anticipating, of course, a great 125 shootout. The front runners getting good gate positions, with the exception of maybe Shae Bentley, who has a choice. But Grayson Goodman, thank you so much for the memories. They were great. He's a class act, and best of luck in the business world as he goes back to Dallas, Texas. Hard to get away from that camaraderie of this fine sport. You know, a rider who considered retirement last year because of injuries, toughed it out to become this year's 125 West Coast champion. It wasn't easy, but Shae Bentley's hard work and determination has certainly paid off big.
We still haven't gotten an official award down here. A lot of lapped riders, so they're trying to figure it out. But gotta tell you, man, tough night for you out there, but you rode like a champion, however it works out.
I did my best, that's all I can say.
Hey, I got good news for you. They just told me upstairs you won by 2 points. You're the champion.
Yeah, baby, I freaking won it! Yeah!
The screams of joy from Shae Bentley upon hearing that he had just won his first professional Supercross championship. There was a time back in January that winning the #1 plate was the furthest thing from his mind. A bewildered Bentley departed Anaheim 12th in points. All he had to show for his efforts was an injured hand and a concussion after a pointless second-round effort.
That 22nd place definitely put a lot of stuff in my head, but it made me a lot smarter. I knew I had to relax, stay calm, and just have fun, you know.
One got the impression that this delightful young man out of Georgia should start looking for a new mission in life. Injuries completely wiped out his 1999 season before it started.
The frustration was so high. I didn't know what to think, you know. All the trouble I went through last year. I just wanted to be out there on the track and just go out there and prove myself.
Just how much could he physically endure before realizing that one has but one body to give? Would he have to give up the sport he loved so dearly?
That has crossed my mind a few times. Last year, I sat down with my family and friends, and, you know, I was like, you know, is this cut out for me? Because I've had a lot of injuries over the past.
A belief in himself, backed with an ambitious conditioning program, started peeking its head out from beneath the rubble of despair in San Diego. Charging from 7th to 3rd, he secured his first professional Supercross podium. While his competition was taking turns, 4 different winners in the first 4 races, Shae was continuing to improve. At Phoenix, he ignored a bad start and having to qualify out of the last chance qualifier to make a last lap pass for his first second-place finish. Then, at the historic Astrodome, Bentley's immediate dream, his first Supercross victory, became a reality.
The first win at Houston was unbelievable. The last lap, my arms were just pumped. So much stuff was going through my mind, but like they said, you know you can win, but there's little doubts, you know. And when I got that first one, then I was I was so happy. It was like I knew everything was going my way.
No one else in the division could mount such momentum. Even after a 6-week layoff while the 125 East revved it up, Shae continued his training routine with a laser-like focus. The result was a near-perfect ride in Minneapolis. Leading every lap, he became the first 2-time winner of the division and turned the tables on the points race. Nothing would come easy, however. An early crash in Dallas confused even the most veteran prognosticators. David Pingree would make it all the way back to second place while Bentley went down again. He used every ounce of adrenaline and energy to right the bike and get on with it. Not knowing if he'd thrown the title away, Shae just kept trying. It was that never-give-up spirit that drove him to 7th place. As Pingree looked back, the disappointment on his face told the story. Bentley had won the title by 2 points.
You always set your goals to be a champion, but then you have to keep everything realistic. So I just came in this open-minded. I wanted a top 3 finish and to have fun and to learn.
The title he didn't expect was his. The last man of the Pro Circuit totem pole who was switched to the West Division when a teammate got hurt in preseason. The kid who was down to riding strictly for bonuses and incentives and given arguably the last chance at a top support ride came away with the hero's rewards. Shae Bentley, the first Supercross champion of the 2000 season. We've just received news as well from Robbie Floyd back in the pit area that the #1 bike in the West will not be running here tonight. Shae Bentley's stomach illness has overtaken him. He's had to go back to the hotel. David Bailey, he's sick as a dog and he just can't race.
Well, you know, if this was a championship race where you were getting points, I think we might see Shae just tough it out. But he's got outdoor nationals coming up next week, a whole new series, and I think he's looking forward to that and just trying to. It's a good thing that happened now and not during a points-paying race because that title he won was very close.
The bikes now are getting ready for the last chance qualifier for the 250 before we get to the 125 final. And of course the 250 final. Only 2 gates are open for the 250 final. And they'll come out of the last chance qualifier right here. 30-second board is sideways. We'll be underway with the LCQ for the 250s from Las Vegas. Good clean first quarter with one exception. Number 646 getting up off the ground.
Only 2 guys out of this going to the main. I can guarantee you that's going to be a fight. Already a pass for the lead. All the way over that big tunnel. He's got close to getting to the fence right there. Those guys are going through that corner and second, shifting into third gear, about 45, 50 low. Leader going off the racetrack. Recovers.
Chris Young, number 911. Trying to battle it out with Matt Shae, number 201. Matt Shae out of the state of Georgia.
He got a little off line back there, made a good recovery. Through the whoops. He's taking the best line. You can see everyone behind him jammed up. Whoa.
Tough to control in that whoop section.
Trying to angle his way to the inside. He's trying to turn through those whoops a little bit, and that does not work. You've got to go straight through there. Even that's hard. Watch right here. Haddon gets a little bit crooked. Trying to aim to the inside. Looked like he might have had that saved right there. In the last second, he just decided to step through the handlebars and try to minimize that crash. Fixing his clutch lever right there so he can go the rest of the way. I don't know if he's going to be able to get back up and qualify for this main event, but he'll still get some cash. Higher up in the field, he can move.
So it's Matt Shae on top with Ryan Terlicki in second place and Chris Young, number 911, now back in third. Terlicki on the KTM. Matt Shae doing a good job, though, pulling away.
He should have this thing under control. Matt's a great rider. Good 125 rider as well. Terlicki definitely got a lot of experience. Getting comfortable on the new KTMs.
Terlicki out of the Pacific Northwest. Matt Shae, this is only his second race in the 2000 season. He took a 17th place in Chicago. That was his first race of the 250 season.
they'd probably rather win the semi than the last chance qualifier, but either way, you get to the main event, you're still in there. It's not going to matter too much for a starting position. This will only be maybe 1 or 2 positions worse, which will probably be to the outside. We saw riders bunch up to the inside, so the outside maybe will get left wide open while everyone's trying to get to the inside and go slow and play it safe.
More trouble in the whoops, where that whoops is really eating these guys alive.
It's always around the same part of the whoop section too, about 3/4 of the way through right here.
James Fink
sticks the front wheel into the bottom, one of those things. No chance to save it right there. Hard to even get up from that position. You got a handlebar right in the stomach. It's a brutal sport. When things aren't going good, they're really not going good. But you can watch guys like Windham and McGrath. When they're on, it is really something to watch. And you just can't get an idea of how hard it is from the stands. I mean, even from our vantage point up here, the 25 or 30 feet in the air, they're getting off these triples. Looks kind of easy. Down there on the track, a whole other story.
Only 2 spots available, and right now it's Shae and Tortelli with Chris Young fading back a little bit in 3rd place.
See the difference now. Matt Shae compared to the best riders in the world, McGrath, Vuillemin, Windham. These guys able to get just under 110 for their lap times. Shae running right here about 117. It's a lot of time per lap. These guys are going to get lapped with a longer lap time, a longer race. Lappers could play a major role in deciding the outcome of the main event later on.
Shae having to deal with injuries throughout his young career, and we go back to 3rd place now. That is number 911, Chris Young. Ted Campbell, number 96, wants to challenge, even though it's not a bubble spot. Only the top 2 qualify. These guys are having a good race.
Well, this is the money, really. And that Racer X gas card, whoever is able to finish in the first spot that doesn't make the main event gets that money.
And there's the pass. Ted Campbell taking advantage of Chris Young. Young with such a great start. Now has faded back to 4th.
Chris Young not putting up much of a fight right there. He just kind of got caught to the outside. Really wasn't much he could do about it.
Ted Campbell shaking his head. Like he got it whipped.
You know what can happen? You get a little piece of dirt inside your goggles and it bounces around in there every time you go up in the air. You could have that bouncing around in there get in his eye. I've used that as an excuse a couple of times. This looks like it's really happening.
Reaching up for the tear-off there as well.
He's got to mess with his concentration. He held on to the whoop section right there, but he took the zigzag line through it.
Todd Dowd is number 817.
Look how slippery it's getting now. Just impossible to get traction. So the big advantage there is to go out and use that berm, try to get as much speed off the berm so you don't have to be so wide open across that slick stuff. You can actually back off the power a little bit and let that rear wheel track.
Todd Dowd, Chris Young. Dowd's taking the position, moving into 4th. How's this going to affect the main event being so slick? It appears like it's getting more slick as the evening goes on.
I think Kevin Windham is back there doing this slick dance, hoping it gets even worse because he seems to have things figured out, and that was the problem Jeremy was having, was finding traction out here. He always fixes it. There's Jeremy right there. He's, I guess that's Kevin Windham. They wear the same gear.
Kevin,
looks like he's either sleeping,
meditating,
or very, very focused. I'll tell you what, the nerves, they play such a major role. I mean, I've listened to self-hypnosis tapes, I listen to music. You try to do anything you can to distract yourself from the pressure of having to go out there and perform and win a race when you know that you're capable and you have the equipment to do it. But really the best thing is just face that head on. And usually you're able to deal with it a lot better. Don't ignore it, just deal with the pressure, and nobody's been better at that than McGrath over the years.
I was going to ask you, has there been ever anybody as good as Jeremy McGrath? Because he took it on so young. His first year in 250s, he had the immediate pressure, winning 10 races, winning the title his very first season.
I think that helped him, you know. I mean, think about it, ever since he got on 250, he's been winning. It didn't take him like Carmichael or Windham or any of the other guys a few years to get up there to be able to make the podium and get some wins. He started off right away. That was a huge confidence booster, and that helps you relax. Anytime you're more confident, you're able to get more out of yourself and ride your potential.
Matt Shae Looks like he's going to make the main event if he holds on. He's on the final lap.
No problem for Matt. I think he's just trying to save a little bit of energy. It's hot out here in the high 80s. You saw Kyle Lewis winning his semi. It looked like he finished the main event. He's got 14 more laps to go than that for the main event. He was already tired. Sweat, you see that all over their face. That'll get built up in the foam of the goggles and splatter all over the inside of the lenses.
The checkered flag for Matt Shae. So he makes the final race of the year main event. Ryan Terlicki and Ted Campbell trying to battle it out for second place. Let's go down to Davey Combs.
I'm down here with Donnie Shae. Donnie, you got to be stoked.
Yeah, pretty much, man. Real stoked.
I know you guys made the main event last week, too. It's got to be a thrill to come out to Vegas, last Supercross of the year.
Yeah, it's great, really great. Yeah, we just brought everything out of the box. We had a bunch of problems in practice, and everything's kind of coming together now. Halfway through the semi, he started getting everything together. Put that together then.
Good job. Let's go to Robbie Floyd.
Well, I'm with the Team Honda riders, Kevin Windham, Ezra, Lusk, and kind of kicking back here in the pit. Looks like you're taking a nap for a second.
Yeah, I'm just relaxing and getting little tips from Yogi here and Jeff Stanton and everybody on the team that's telling me what I need to do out there for the main. It's a lot of help.
Look like you're having fun out there on the track ever since practice. You're turning some quick lap times.
Yeah, I like it here. It's very similar to Dallas, the race I won, and I'm looking forward to having a good night and feel relaxed, and hopefully I can do it.
Tonight your night?
I hope so. You know, it's great to be here in Vegas and have the race on pay-per-view, and you know, I got to say hey to my friends back in Centerville and Baton Rouge and over across the river, and definitely say happy birthday to my dad.
All right, I'm here also with Ezra, Lusk. Yogi, they've been missing you all year long, but you get to start back at Glen Helen next week.
I definitely missed the Supercross. Being here on the team with Team Honda, Dunlop, and Fox, and Scott USA, but we'll be back for the National.
All right, look for Yogi. He says next week, Glen Helen, he's all good.
All right, we got Matt Shae down here, our 250 last chance qualifier winner. 2 in a row, man. You're making this a habit.
Yeah, I hadn't rode 250 all year until last week at Chicago, and made it in the main there, and was kind of worried about tonight. Didn't think I was going to make it. Had a lot of problems in practice, but I was able to get in there.
Congratulations. We'll let you go get ready.
Appreciate it.
Checking out the official results now, the LCQ, the last chance qualifier for the 250s. Matt Shae doesn't have too much time to get that bike back together again for the final.
No, it doesn't make it any easier. That's taking him 4 or 5 kicks to get that thing started. That takes energy, too.
Here's the Suzuki results page. Matt Shae and Ryan Terlicki on their way to the main event in the final of the season here in Las Vegas. As we get set, the 125 riders have got to be getting nervous right now as the young rookie phenom Travis Pastrana gets ready for the main event. He was the top qualifier. David Pingree, who won the first race of the year in the 125 West, is going to be next to him there. And Stefan Roncada, Robbie Horton were the next best qualifiers to get their choice at the gate. Of course, Roncada, the champion in the Eastern Division. Nick Way and Schnell, a couple of very, very competent riders who had outstanding seasons. Evans, Lytle, then Brock Sellards didn't get the best choice of gate. David Bailey, but Gosler right next to him. They both showed very competent speed throughout the year.
Now, these guys are definitely fast, and this is the kind of race, too, where it's just a one-shot deal. The first turn is going to be very interesting, and you see Justin Bucklew right there, Ryan Clark. You know, there's so many, pretty much anybody in this field. I mean, if you think about it, they're taking the top 10 from the East, the top 10 from the West. I mean, you got Fonseca pretty far down the lineup. He's not going to get the starting position he would like, but if he gets out over the gate in that first 10 feet and hooks up, he can move over to the inside and get a great start.
Packing it down, getting ready for the start. You'd think in a hard pack they wouldn't have to bang it down like that.
Well, it's hard packed as soon as they get out over the gate. You see the wheel marks right there on that plastic piece. That's where they have all the sponsors, and these guys spin as soon as they get up over the gate. Then they get out to where it's been watered slightly, so getting traction out of the start is tough. They used to bring rakes, shovels, buckets of dirt. Jeff Ward had a special little aluminum stepping thing because he's a little bit shorter and was able to bring that to the starting line. And once they made the rule that you couldn't bring all those tools and do all that landscaping at the start, Jeff was using that little stepping thing as a shovel. And
Wardy's on the phone. He appreciates what you just said. There's the line for the Yahoo.com Whole Shot Award, which is an extra $500, the first rider across that white line. And as we have witnessed throughout the evening, the first rider over that white line might not be the leader coming out of the white line, off the white line.
Yeah, that first turn is going to be very busy. All these guys want to win this race so bad, and my strategy going into it would be win the thing. Second, third does not make any difference. I'd want to win, and if I couldn't win, I'm going down in flames.
Already Kevin Windham has got his mind on the 250 main event that will be coming up next, the final round of the Vans Triple Crown. But first, we've got the 125s, the 125 shootout. It used to be which champion was better, the 125 West or the 125 East champion. But as David pointed out, we've got so many possibilities in this race that it's pretty much just for bragging rights coming out of this one race, David.
It is, and this is the Dave Coombs Sr. race. It was his idea to bring the 125s into Supercross. There's a good look at Travis Pastrana, and I just spoke with my dad who's been working with him a little bit, and he said Travis is very comfortable on this racetrack and knows that all he really needs to do is go out there and just live in the moment. Don't think too much, don't make any stupid mistakes in the early laps, and he should be able to win this race.
Stefan Roncada now going through his nervous pre-race gyration. There's number 23, Nick Way. See a lot of jerking action there. 32nd board is up. We're almost set for the 125 main event from Las Vegas, Nevada, Sam Boyd Stadium. It is a sellout. Glad you could join us on the pay-per-view telecast, the very first live Supercross in the history of the sport. Thank you for helping history be made here tonight. As the 125 32nd board is now sideways, we are set to go with our main event from Las Vegas. Greg Snell is the first off the line, and he gets the Yahoo.com Whole Shot Award. Number 63 on the outside.
A few riders going down in the first turn, none of the favorites though. What a hole shot by Greg Snell. Looked like he was riding a 250.
Fonseca is right behind him in second place. A great start for number 28. It's going to be hard to remember him as 28. He's been running number 1 as the defending champion of the 125 East all season long.
It is a good start for him, but 199 Pastrana sits right there in third, and this is what I talked about. All he wanted to do was get out there, be in contention, be smart, let the race come to him.
Look at the great leaping action. A brand new leader in Fonseca just leaped by Greg Snell, and Pastrana is ready to strike behind Snell.
Snell came up short a little bit, just off the screen there again. Another little mistake. Takes you out of your timing when you get past early like that. He thought he had control of the race. He lost it, and now he's got to contend with Pastrana.
Both Snell and Pastrana, two-time winners in their division. And mayhem behind Pastrana.
Well, I just took down
Danny Smith,
but that was Roderick Tane that just went in there and put on a huge block pass and took them both out. That was the kind of move that you can't have happen in the first lap. Just be patient, let the race come to you.
Number 120 was Roderick Tane. Here's Snell and Pastrana now. Snell back in the lead with Pastrana in second place and Fonseca in third as we get back to the action.
That mechanics area gets real busy. I don't know how they read anything through there. It's hard to figure out which board is yours, but this is great for Pastrana. He doesn't have to work his way around Fonseca rather. He's going to look at what Snell, if he can't do the triple coming up right here, this is where Travis will be able to jump it, get the timing, and make the pass.
Looks to his left, and look at the guy who makes the triple, Fonseca to the inside, and he takes the lead. Back and forth they go. Here comes Pastrana. Bar to bar they go. Pastrana takes the lead.
Unbelievable. That was an excellent move by Fonseca. Pastrana chose wrong. He was on the left side on the straightaway, and Snell kind of closed him off to the edge of the racetrack. Fonseca, excellent choice to the inside, and great reflexes. And
Fonseca's not giving up either. They avoid rubbing plastic in the corner. Pastrana now the one looking back over his shoulder. Fonseca the black pass. On the dirt-like track, he spins and keeps control, and Fonseca retakes the lead. Oh, what a great 125 shootout. Fonseca, a one-time winner, was the 9th different rider to win this year. He won the last 125 race of the regular season, and that was in Chicago. The crowd still standing on their feet with this great action going underway.
This is the first time that Pastrana and Fonseca have had an opportunity to go head-to-head. A little mistake by Pastrana back there. He started to get some pressure by Snell, who's hanging with this pace. That is impressive. Now these guys will be able to be out in the clear. They're going to get a big boost off that jump. It sets them up for the triple. They both get over it clean. That time,
Schnell in third.
yeah, that time Schnell gets over. He wants to stay in contention and took a chance right there going for that triple.
Several non-champions have won here in Las Vegas, even before it was a shootout. Here comes Pastrana. Fonseca trying to gauge what kind of move Pastrana's going to make. Riding a little defensive, even though he's fast, coming through the ropes. It's a good place for Pastrana. Fonseca fishtails. Oh, my goodness.
What balance by Pastrana. The rear end of Fonseca's bike clipped him, and he stayed up.
And the crowd is going bananas right now. Fonseca just will not give up as Pastrana spins and loses time.
Okay, I think Pastrana right now needs to just settle down. He's got the speed. He can hang. Here's another look. Watch the whoops. Fonseca starts to dance around a little bit right here. Watch his rear end. It's going to swing over and hit the front end of Pastrana. He was on the clutch, the brake, kept his balance, never even had to put his foot down, and even had an opportunity maybe to get by, make a little block pass right there.
Remember the almost block pass, I don't think it was intentional last week, in which Fonseca slowed down and Pastrana hit the back tire, went down, and really put him out of the race as far as contending position is concerned. Here comes Pastrana once again. Fonseca comes back. They both do the triple. You can hear the fans. Here comes Pastrana. What a move. Fonseca, though, had the inside angle. Fonseca almost lost it. Pastrana back and forth. Hey, if Pastrana said that he had fun racing other races, let me tell you what he's going to say after this. He loves this kind of close action.
He's probably got a smile right now under that helmet, when most people will be a little bit nervous. He's trying to get a run at Fonseca through the whoops where Pastrana's normally strong, and Fonseca's holding on.
Now wants that podium, if not more, sticking close in third. A three-way battle here in the 125 shootout. David Pingree in fourth. Stefan Roncada back in sixth for those fans.
Only 4 laps into this main event, a 15-lap race, and it is side-by-side battling the whole way. I have no idea, Art. Usually I'm good at figuring out what's going to happen. I have no idea. Fonseca has answered the challenge of Pastrana, and I think Pastrana may be a little bit surprised right now by that.
And you know, Schnell, who's had an outstanding season as a privateer, is right there in case something should happen. And anything can happen between these two.
Well, if they keep messing with each other and wrecking each other's lines and opportunities, trying to block one another, Schnell can take advantage.
Schnell winning in San Diego and Dallas.
He's got to keep doing this triple, though. That's the key. If he doesn't do this triple,
Pastrana makes his move on Fonseca.
Fonseca trying to come back right there, cases that little double. Look at Pastrana, just speed up, makes this look so easy. The crowd is more than standing now. They're stomping their feet, screaming at the top of their lungs, and Travis is once again the center of all that attention.
Well, he's one of the most exciting riders ever to be in this sport, and it's his first year as a professional. Fonseca having some trouble in the whoop. Schnell trying to take advantage of that for third place. Tiger almost out on the court, almost out on the racetrack right there as Pastrana goes spinning by. A quick jumper, well, let's see why.
Watch Travis right here. They both get over the triple, but Travis jumps the next double where Fonseca got a little bit off balance there, had to roll it.
Stefan Roncada trying to make his way up through the field has just passed David Pingree. As Pastrana, our leader, Fonseca in second, Schnell in third, Roncada has moved into fourth. And we still have lots of laps to go. This is a 15-lap main event for the shootout.
Goes over the double jump, takes the outside. Now Pastrana has enough of a cushion over Fonseca. He's able to take the lines he wants, go wide to get a run at things, and not worry about that front wheel getting in there and running over his foot.
I had a feeling all season long Pastrana would be gearing toward this race because it was such a spectacular type situation. Stefan Roncada now trying to put the pressure on Schnell, number 63.
Now look at this, Roncada has caught this pack. He's the fastest guy on the racetrack right now, and there's still time to catch the leader.
Wouldn't that be something to see Roncada and Pastrana going at it?
He just might. Roncada has got to make quick work of Schnell and his teammate Fonseca in order to have that chance.
The winningest rider over the 125s this year, Roncada with 4 victories, trying to get by the privateer Greg Schnell. Schnell is right behind Fonseca, but Roncada's got to make a move soon here, David, or he doesn't really stand much of a chance of taking the victory.
Well, he matched Pastrana's last lap almost. A low 114 to Pastrana's 113.9, so he's definitely on the pace with the leader, but now that he's going to have to take different lines right here, possibly to get around, he's going to lose a little bit of time. It's hard to make back up on a guy like Travis. Or a kid, I should say.
Roncada back in 98 got an 11th place start here. He passed 5 riders on the 3rd lap, and he makes his move into 2nd place.
Well, I don't think this race is over yet.
Pastrana, Roncada, Fonseca, and Schnell. And there's Roncada trying to hold on to his position now and further it to try to get close to Travis Pastrana.
I think Pastrana is going to need to get a pit board that says, hey, do not relax too much. If he does, Roncada can catch him, and it's hard to make the adjustment and start picking the pace back up again.
Roncada was so confident he could win this race, and he's got 8 laps to try to catch Travis Pastrana. Let's check out the pass now of Roncada making it by his teammate.
He came from the outside, was able to double that jump in between the whoop section where his teammate rolled through it. Just a little bit better line choice. Planned that all the way down the straightaway before he planned that about 2 corners ahead.
So Roncada now in the process of trying to chase down the leader. Is he in sight? Yes, he was at the end of that section as Roncada was entering it. Is Roncada that fast?
Yes, he is that fast. And
Pastrana himself said he's the fastest guy on the track in Chicago.
Right, I'll tell you what, towards the end of this race, you're going to get tired, the sweat's in your eyes, it splatters all over the lens, it's hard to see your line. You get into lapped riders, you start to feel the pressure. Roncada's got everything to gain right now, and Travis is trying to protect.
This is for 5th place. Brock Sellards and Nick Way, 2 very confident riders. Very steady riders as they go through the woods. Number 18 on the FMF Honda's Brock Sellards. Pro Circuit Kawasaki number 23. And then Chris Gosler on the Amsoil Honda, number 55. Gosler's got the speed to chase them both down.
He does, and he's the kind of kid that will get in there, jump something, go fast through something that just wasn't even there before. He's got so much aggression. It's difficult to mix aggression with having to be careful on this hard, slick track, though.
Badly in practice yesterday. After failing to qualify for 2 events this season, he came back to 2 podiums in the final 2 races of the 125 West season. Number 55, we're talking about Christian Gosler.
He's right there. He's got an opportunity to pick up 2 spots. I don't know if he can pick up more. He's not able to do this triple right here. I saw him doing it in practice, but if you got a rider in front of you and you're following him, it's too risky.
Cuts to the inside, has the advantage going into the whoops. Let's see who comes out of the whoops then. And it's Chris Gosler making a nice move on Nick Way. Pastrana continues to lead out in front as Roncada tries to chase him down. This is the battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th. Here's our leader right now, number 199, Travis Pastrana.
Now here's what happened in the last lap. He did a 1:14.5. Roncada did a 1:13.4. So he is definitely catching him, and there's still time. 6 more laps. That's a heat race.
Pastrana will have the pressure on him all the way.
Look at that, though. Pastrana now starting to triple, heading into the other triple, making up tons of time. Roncada is not doing that same timing, and he's losing a little bit. That means that he is going so much faster on other sections of the racetrack to make that back up and then some.
Mr. Excitement. Things happen when he's on the track. There's no question. And here's our 3rd place rider, Ernesto Fonseca, and number 63, Greg Schnell, in the battle for 3rd.
Well, Fonseca, Ferry, they call him, has done a fine job battling up front. That takes a lot of energy out of you, though, and then you try to settle back into a pace, and you can't really afford to do that because Schnell's still breathing down his neck.
Boy, this is a fast move section. They make it look fast.
I mean, when you get up down there close and look at them, they're just polished off. There's little knobs and ruts in them, little things that start to back in, fishtailing side to side. And we've seen what happens if you start to get a little crooked. You're going down right away.
Schnell, one of the 5 first-time winners in the 125 season, and of course he got 2 victories, but his first one probably he'll remember forever and ever because it was before his family and friends in San Diego that he picked off his very first Supercross victory. And look at this, it's coming close, Fonseca and Snell. This is the battle for third. You just tuned in. Snell being very patient. He's not really overextending himself.
See a little piece of something hanging down from the bottom of Fonseca's bike. It's a piece of plastic that he picked up, getting a little too close to the edge of the racetrack, and it's gone to probably the foot peg. It's not causing him any problem right now. It's back in the rear disc or something that could mount and lose his rear brake. He's probably unaware of it.
For Shae Bentley fans, the champion out of the 125 West, he had to go home with a stomach ailment in the whoops. We've got Snell trying to make a move. He was very straight. He was patted through the whoops, but he still couldn't get an edge to pass Fonseca. Pastrana is our leader with the 125 Eastern champion Stefan Moncada trying to chase him down.
And Travis recognized the challenge, obviously got the signal, has picked the pace back up. Was able to stretch his lead out a little bit. Well, that looked a little sketchy there. Just barely gets over that triple, over the other triple. That's where he's been able to make up his time on top.
What's it look like trackside, Davey Combs?
Well, it looks like this to me. What in the world is Suzuki going to do with Travis Pastrana? I mean, you got Damon Huffman, a 250 factory right down the starting gate. Huffman is not jumping that triple into the stadium that Pastrana is doing on a 125. Travis is a tall kid. He's going to fit nicely on a 250, but when will it be too soon?
And he's such a mature individual, David Bailey. We got a good battle going on with Brock Sellards and Christopher Gosselaar now. Sellards is currently in 5th. And Nick Way gets into the action as well. Sellards, Gosselaar 55, and Nick Way number 23. The race within the race. Even though Pastrana has a pretty good lead, there's all kinds of action on this track. And I haven't seen this in a long time. It looks like a Texas A&M game. The crowd has yet to sit down.
They better not sit. As soon as they do, something else is going to happen. Somewhere on the racetrack, there's so much great talent out here. Travis seems to have things under control out front. You just never know. Left rider's a mistake. Roncada is back there matching his pace. He's not able to catch him like I thought he might. Travis has stepped it up.
What an interesting season this would be as you check out the lap times.
That last lap time, Travis picked it up and had a second advantage over Roncada, so he's definitely in control here.
Let's go back and check out Pastrana's style.
Well, there's places where you see him right on the toes. He's right on his tiptoes on the foot peg. And in places on the racetrack, when he's jumping that triple, he's dragging the bottom of the bike and the foot peg, and if he had his foot hanging off over the front of the foot peg, he could break his foot right there. It's the reason he's got it right on the toes.
The 250 being such a prestigious division, what would you do if you're Roger DeCoster and he came to you next year and said, hey, I want to ride a 250. I want to get with the big boys?
Well, I think there's a thing called too much too soon. In my opinion, Travis is 16. He's got a long career ahead of him. Why not go out, try to get that 125 title, get a #1 plate, and then move up? Plenty of time. Plus, Travis has even talked about doing it here. He wanted to ride both classes tonight. I mean, how incredible would that be? Because he'd be getting off the bike, getting onto a 250, and he's got the kind of talent to go out and finish in the top 5.
And my word was that Roger DeCoster said he could do it if he won the title, 125 title. He did not win the title, so he didn't get a chance to try.
Well, that's motivation to stay in the 125 class next year, win the title, and be able to do that. It's never been done, to my knowledge, to the point that Travis could take it. And that would be finish perhaps on the podium in both classes. And there's no rest after this race to jump back on a 250. The fact that he's even considering it, pretty mature, pretty confident, good recovery right there, and obviously in great shape.
Obviously in great shape. It would, of course, be a 20-lap main event for the 250s with all that power. Final lap coming up. So we've had Shae Bentley, a champion in the West, Roncada, a champion in the East, and possibly one lap goes, and Travis Pastrana, a non-champion, picks off the 125 shootout. So who is the best rider at 125?
I have no idea. There's too many. Travis was so close to winning the title in the East. this is going to feel great to be able to come out here and go, look, I had the speed to do it. I'm young. I made a couple of mistakes, but check this out. He's approaching some triples. The crowd is definitely on their feet right now, wanting to see some of those freestyle tricks that got him gold medals.
Here's the future for Suzuki. Travis Pastrana, his first wins as a pro, as he heel clicks for the fans, was at Daytona. He backed it right up with a dome appearance and a victory in St. Louis.
He's got another triple right here, and the crowd is louder all the way around. Well, come on, show us some more.
A phenomenal rookie year. He puts a little nod to the crowd with the heel clicker this time.
I think the heel clicker is a little bit safer than some of the other Superman, seat grab, Indian air, whatever the heck he calls all that stuff. I think the heel clicker is the easiest one to do when he's this tired.
In such a difficult division, and also there's Lee McCullough, his mechanic, and also the shootout. The checkers are waving, and a nice calm roll over the finish line for Travis Pastrana, the winner of the 125 shootout. In one of the greatest seasons in 125 history, the front wheelie to celebrate.
What a display of balance right there. To be able to just get that thing up on the front brake and balance it on the front wheel. He gets a high five from Ancada right there. Good sportsmanship. These guys all like each other.
Obviously his third career win because it's his first season. And Travis Pastrana now getting some instructions to come on over.
I think he was wanting to go out there and ride around the track a little bit more.
I think the fans want him to, too.
Victory lap. They're saying, no, don't do that. We don't have time. We got to get that 250 main underway.
Yeah. Lee McCullough. And Lee says, I've never had anybody thank me for replacing spark plugs before, but this guy is so polite that he's just a joy to work with. And he goes over to shake hands with the second place finisher, Stefan Roncada, who is just as pleasant a young man.
Yep, it's not going to be long before these guys take the place of Jeremy McGrath in the 250 class. And it's great to see that they already have such a good respect for each other and so much talent and poise on camera at such a young age.
Well, he's already got his post-interview all figured out. Let's see what he has. Davey Coombs.
All right, Travis, never a dull moment with you.
Of course not, man. I don't know. I tried to keep it on two wheels. I succeeded this time. And, you know, I couldn't ask for anything better. I took some risky moves with Ernie, but I feel like I'm learning. I'm getting smoother. And listen to this crowd, man. It's so sweet. Man, I did that. My RM pulled me over that huge triple in the back. No other 125s are doing it. I was like, yes.
I know that this is your rookie year. You came in hoping maybe to do all right in the 125 East. You got a couple main event wins, but you lost that title at the last race in Chicago. Now you come out here and you beat the entire country, actually this country and France, in a 125 shootout.
Yeah, well, thanks. I mean, Stefan Roncada was riding pretty much my same pace. I just got out of the start a little bit better with my RM, and man, I can't say enough. I'm so excited. I'd like to thank No Fear, my mechanic, Lee McCullum, helping me out so much. Every lap, he's like, crossed his fingers like, you can do it.
I know your longtime mechanic, Jeff Cerna, came out just to watch this race. Your whole family's here. You got to be stoked.
Yeah, I'd like to thank everyone for coming out. You know, my mom, dad, some of my uncles. And any of you watching at home, I don't know if you stayed up this late. East Coast is kind of late, but Jim, Joe, thank you.
Okay, Travis Pastrana, as animated a talker as he is a rider on the track, that's for sure, takes the 125 shootout in front of all the champions. As we take a look at the Suzuki results board, Pastrana, Roncada, and Fonseca on the podium, with Greg Schnell in fourth, Brock Sellards, and both outstanding seasons for those two young men. Nick Way in sixth. David Pingree fought back to seventh place. And for those fans out on the southeast, Shae Bentley unable to participate in the 125 shootout. Let's go to Robbie Floyd. Robbie?
Well, Craig, we're down here on the very inside gate. What is it that David likes about this inside? He might get shut off, and it might be a problem for him.
Yeah, he's hoping, you know, at least to come out of the turn, you know, without crashing. If he can get a good jump, then he has a position to, you know, go into the turn. If he gets, you know, maybe a little jump from Windham, he can just drop back and follow Windham through the turn.
What you're telling me is if he gets a good jump, you can expect to take everybody high.
Yep, he'll go deep into the turn.
All right, look for that one, guys. This is going to be a good one. I'm already starting to get a little chill bumps.
David Vuillemin taking the parade lap, checking out the last-minute changes on the track as we take a look at the starting lineups for tonight's 250 main event. So much on the line for this young man, David Vuillemin. $500,000 bonus, not counting the purse money. if he wins the third round of the Vans Triple Crown. It's come down to almost a Hollywood script, David Bailey.
It's been unbelievable to think that this guy's been able to finish on the podium as many times as he has, grab all those wins against maybe the best field in 250 Supercross history.
Here is our Honda starting lineup as it's Vuillemin and Windham, the two top qualifiers. LaRocco and McGrath. Don't rule out LaRocco in this race tonight.
Now he is tough. You see how hot everyone is getting out there, and it's a physical battle. This main event with a little bit longer lap time and the temperatures here. It's a demanding track that requires great focus, and that's what he has. Down the stretch, LaRocco is very strong.
And the remainder of our 20-rider field for the 250s. Almost every rider here could play a role in the third round of the Vans Triple Crown. And of course, you've heard already from the pre-race interviews of Kevin Windham and Jeremy McGrath, they are not going to let this guy, even though he's a wonderful young man, take this $500,000 out of the country.
That's just, you know, if I was in Vuillemin's shoes, I'd be like, come on, you guys, let me have it.
Give you a little split.
Yeah, they're just making it even harder now. But there's a look at McGrath getting ready to get lined up. Now, here's something I find interesting. Vuillemin last week lined up all the way on the inside. Didn't get a good jump out of the gate, got closed off. McGrath was further to the outside, moved to the inside, bunched up the pack. Carmichael went down right in front of Vuillemin. He crashed. He actually didn't crash, but he was in last. That could happen again here. He's starting in the same place.
Look at the stare of concentration on Vuillemin's face.
And he's starting right next to Kevin Windham, who gets out of the gate like you wouldn't believe. So if Kevin can get out good, you can bet he's going to make a left. He's not happy with Vuillemin's pass last week. I don't think there's anything wrong with the pass. He just caught Kevin by surprise, and he figured, hey, if I can use that as motivation to go out in Las Vegas and win the race, I will.
A sold-out crowd in this expanded stadium to 38,856, the largest fan base in this stadium since they remodeled it, to see the 250 Vans Triple Crown. The board is sideways. We're almost set to go. The main event from Las Vegas is underway. Windham, a good start.
Bad jump for Vuillemin.
Carmichael, McGrath right there. Windham and Tortelli come out of it side by side on the red Hondas with McGrath right behind him, and LaRocco a great start. Then Vuillemin is in fifth. That's not a bad position for Vuillemin.
Not what he would like, but at least he's not mid-pack. That would be horrible. And as far as he came through the pack last week from nearly last to second place, he knows all he needs to do is get close. With contention, and you have a chance to win this race.
Wyndham gets the Yahoo.com whole shot $1,000, and it looks like he wants to take away with the race here.
Well, he's got his teammate back there to ride block for a little while. It's got to be a little bit of a strategy. Honda would love to win this final race, feel that Vuillemin rather from winning that $500 grand, and try to beat McGrath as well.
Yeah, but could Tortelli get back to the France if he blocked out Vuillemin?
Well, I don't know if I care right now.
Rider going down.
That's Mike Craig, number 43, front end washed out. As soon as he threw it into that berm, that front end just didn't stick.
Jeremy McGrath now starting to put some heat. Here's Vuillemin.
He had to roll. He had to roll through that double. LaRocco has already talked about he doesn't really like Vuillemin that much. He's doing all he can to block him. You can see right now it's starting to frustrate David. Looks like he might be able to make a move, though. He's on the inside.
Well, David Vuillemin had 6 laps behind LaRocco before he finally got around him in Chicago to get up to second place.
That was brilliant by LaRocco. Vuillemin had the pass made, had the inside. LaRocco just said, I'm going to blitz this outside, got him back. Look at that.
He goes off the track. Vuillemin goes off the track, no contact. He just stayed away from LaRocco.
LaRocco didn't give him any room. I think David would have been a lot smarter to just play that safe and just let LaRocco have the line. Now it's cost him another position in Carmichael. Good luck getting by both these guys.
So Vuillemin is in 5th position right now. Let's take another look at that very significant move.
Well, Vuillemin had already made a pass. LaRocco got him back, and Vuillemin's trying to get him on the outside. LaRocco's saying no way. He doesn't really push him or anything. It was just Vuillemin had too much speed going in, and before he couldn't do the double to get back over that tunnel, and Carmichael got by.
So Vuillemin now trying to take on Carmichael, gets a little squirrely as he tries to extend himself a little bit past the limit. Kevin Windham is still our leader with Jeremy McGrath in second place. Tortelli now in third.
I can tell you right now, every single rider in front of Vuillemin, all the guys that talked about, I would love to be the one, keeps him from getting that $500,000. I don't see, it's going to take a miracle for him to get by all these guys and have a shot at winning this race, but I didn't think he'd come back to second last week either. You never know.
So Windham continues to lead. McGrath, though, he needs a win to take away that $25,000 consolation prize in the Vans Triple Crown.
Well, Windham's got about a 2-second lead over him. Stayed about the same last couple of laps. And what's happening right now amongst all these top riders, clear back to Vuillemin, this top 6, they all run pretty much the same pace. The lap times 110, 110, 111, 112.
Beautiful move by Vuillemin to take Carmichael. Boy, that was a slick move, David Bailey.
This guy, that's why they call him the Cobra, man. He can strike anywhere, anytime. He doesn't need the groove to make his pass. He can go anywhere and get
He
creative.
doesn't even puff up like a Cobra. Let's take another look.
Carmichael going to the outside. Vuillemin just comes right in there and catches him by surprise. I don't think Carmichael realized he was that close. Shouldn't have gone wide. He was trying to get back out of there and cover the inside, but it was too late.
Vuillemin moves up to 5th place now. Mike LaRocco was next on the list, and you know what happened the last time they started rubbing plastic.
I'll tell you, I wouldn't be surprised if Vuillemin just parked him in the cheap seats. I mean, he's got to be irritated with the way LaRocco was blocking. I don't think it was any dirty riding on LaRocco's part, but he obviously was trying to make sure it was very difficult for Vuillemin to make the pass.
Here is our leader, Kevin Windham, by 2.5 seconds at last count.
He's stretching it out a little bit. That last lap, a 109 by Windham. That's what he was turning in the heat races. He's getting better with time.
Boy, would this be vindication after a very, very difficult season. He got 2 podiums in the first 3 races, David Bailey, and then went into a funk. And it was tough to get out of.
Well, he's out of it now. And he just pulled away from Jeremy in that heat race. And he's got to be thinking about that now. And it's got to wear a little bit on Jeremy as well. If Jeremy loses time again in the next lap and the one after that, he might start to feel like he's been beaten.
There's Larry Brooks giving a signal of sorts as McGrath goes by in 2nd place. I did not expect Windham to dominate this much. But here comes, stepping up the wick a bit, number 1.
McGrath square in that corner, trying to shave off a little bit of racetrack. He's starting to lose contact with Kevin Windham. He comes up a little short right there. Really has to use his body, not just go right over the handlebars. Jumps that triple. No real mistakes that are costing him any time. Last lap through a 110. So he loses a little bit of time, but it's a 110.1. So he's still fairly consistent.
The interval after the last lap is 3.2 seconds. As we check out now, Mike LaRocco in 4th, and here comes Vuillemin, number 934. What's going to happen this time when Vuillemin makes the jump?
Oh, it's going to get ugly. I have a feeling he's going to go in and make the ugliest block pass of the year. Windham thought that was a problem last week. Wait till LaRocco gets a load of this. If he leaves the door open a little bit, Vuillemin's going to wedge his way in there.
Boy, look at the speed he takes into the corners.
Watch the momentum he gets off this berm right here. He may be able to make a double pass right here.
And that's Tortelli losing a position to LaRocco. And here comes Vuillemin trying to do the same. Trying to cut to the inside to take 3rd away from Tortelli.
Watch Vuillemin. He takes the outside through here. He'll have the inside in the next corner.
Vuillemin using the strategy.
He is out for LaRocco right now. He does not like that guy.
LaRocco's moved up to 3rd. Vuillemin is now in 4th.
This is an impressive ride by Vuillemin. I mean, you can see in certain sections it pretty much is one-line situation, and Vuillemin is still able to find ways around people. Watch him dive to the end. Well, he's been diving to the inside right there.
Most of the eyes focused on what David Vuillemin does, as Kevin Windham now has a 3.4 second lead on Jeremy McGrath.
Vuillemin needs to get a run right here to this roof section. He was so fast through there in practice. Gets a little crooked, but corrects it. He's able to sweep that corner a little bit better by going down the right side of the whoop section. Doesn't have any pressure, doesn't have to worry about anybody coming underneath him. He's setting LaRocco up. He's thinking all the time. I guarantee LaRocco's worried about it.
I don't know. He's got to get closer to LaRocco to beat him in those whoops, but he's got such nice moves in the corner.
LaRocco tripling into that corner right there.
Vuillemin getting over ever so close now. Looking for his opportunity to get the angle on LaRocco as they go in the back, and this is where LaRocco gave him the problem and he went off the track earlier.
Now he's got to be patient right here. It's only the 6th lap. 14 to go. Plenty of time. If he can get around LaRocco and start clicking off a second a lap from the leaders, not that far behind. Lapped riders at the end. Guys get tired, make mistakes. The track gets worse. It's possible.
It looks a little like Chicago with LaRocco being able to stay in front of Vuillemin lap after lap.
I thought it would take Vuillemin a lot longer to get around Carmichael and Tortelli, but I mean, listen to me changing my tune, Art. I was saying I didn't think it would take a miracle for him to get back up there and have a shot at winning this race, but he's making a believer out of me right here.
The finish line, up they go. This is the battle for 3rd place. Number 934, David Vuillemin tries to get inside, just didn't quite, wasn't close enough to make the block pass as LaRocco came out of the corner.
Tried a little bit too hard right there to get tight. I thought he had a shot at getting down the straightaway and changing his line and cutting back to the inside, making a block pass.
Be smart, the mechanic for David Vuillemin.
Well, back there, he tried for a little bit too much, Art. You see, he lost all that time, precious time. That's time where if LaRocco was to make a mistake while he has this cushion, he's not going to lose a position. Vuillemin has got to stay close to have a chance to pass.
Meanwhile, our leader, as we take a look at there, is Kevin Windham, number 14. 1 victory, 6 podiums on the year. He's led 22 laps before this race. 2 of those in Pontiac, the rest in Texas. And he has led every lap of this main event so far.
They're talking about having to work your way through the lap riders. He's got a 5-second lead now from McGrath. Starting to feel the same thing he felt in the heat race, that he just does not have enough for Windham tonight. He won't give up. He'll stay close. 5-second lead is nothing. The laps that are remaining, still over halfway to go. McGrath having a little tough time right there, not able to use the line he wants. He'll lose a little bit of time there to Windham. It depends on the luck when you catch the lapped riders. If you catch them at the right place, you're able to work around no problem and not lose any time. McGrath got a little unlucky right there. He lost a fraction of a second, but that's all it really takes.
Next is coming in the broadcast booth, Steve Harwell, the lead singer for the Smash Mouth group.
Hanging out with you guys. Oh, this is crazy.
Jeremy McGrath in 2nd place.
He's going to take it.
Trying to catch up. He's 3.8 seconds down now.
He's going to take it.
So he's picked it up.
Yeah.
I think it was a mistake by Kevin Windham out front. I didn't see Jeremy do anything special. Kevin made a little bit of a bobble, possibly trying to get around a lapped rider, and Jeremy is closing in.
We're still not at the halfway point.
I'll tell you what's really starting to shape up is the fact that LaRocco has picked up the pace so much in that battle with Vuillemin that they're not that far behind McGrath. This could be a 1, 2, 3, 4 battle down the stretch.
I think McGrath's setting him up there now, just kind of laying back, letting him make mistakes.
Here comes McGrath on the outside. Take another look at the mistake. Hung up with traffic, really, and right Jason Thomas.
That knocked 2 seconds off his lead right there.
Didn't see him really having to hesitate that much to get around Jason, but somewhere along the line he lost a few seconds to McGrath. And he wasn't nervous before, and he's definitely got to be nervous now. McGrath and that big number 1, all those wins, all that intimidation can rent every floor in your head. Kevin now isn't thinking about the track in front of him. He's got to be thinking about McGrath closing in.
Steve, you got a favorite rider out here?
McGrath, definitely. Boy Wonder's going to catch him. So.
He always seems to.
You ride, Steve?
A little bit, you know, my scooter with my training wheels, you know. I'm a little paranoid of this. This is like this level we're here, like, you know, a little crazy level. I'd rather sing in the band than ride this bike.
I don't know, sometimes it's pretty dangerous up there too.
Yeah, sometimes, but not like this. I see guys walking around with broken spleens and shoulders hanging out, and I'm like, okay, you guys can have this.
Our leader right now is number 14, Kevin Windham, but a challenge is underway by number 1. The 7-time Supercross champion, Jeremy McGrath.
The boy wonder.
At one point, Vuillemin was 11 seconds down on the leader. Now it's only to 8. He's got McGrath and LaRocco between him. So I talked about this being possibly a 4-way battle down the stretch. These guys are closing in on each other.
Boy, it's another great battle between Vuillemin and LaRocco shaping up now. Check out McGrath and his pursuit of Kevin Windham. You see LaRocco not far behind him. You're right, David. He came out of the shadows behind number 1.
we talk about it all the time. If these were 25 or 30 lap main events, LaRocco would pick off as many wins as McGrath. He gets stronger. We're getting to that part of the race. 10 to go.
Pavoli sees McGrath go by him. And Jeremy continues to click off the lap riders going through the whoops now. Here's Vuillemin, number 934. Still trying to chase down Mike LaRocco.
Look at the strength it takes to save that.
A little loose there right there.
Vuillemin, of course, coming from Europe, a little bit concerned about the heat. He's wearing a Bennett jersey right there. He's got short sleeves, trying to get some more circulation in there. When we start getting hot as the end of the race, we're approaching that part. 9 to go now. These guys are tired.
Can Jeremy do it right now?
He's close enough.
Can he do it?
Close enough. Hey, you got to look at the guy's record.
I know.
9 laps to go. And
I'm like, can he do it? I'm like, what do you think? Can he do it? He did it how many times now?
Yeah, he's got 69 wins. Why not make it 70 here in Vegas?
What's one more? What's one more?
You got to get an appropriate song. All-Star.
Yeah. Well, because, you know, McGrath is an all-star when it comes to riding bikes. He's the man everybody wants to beat and everybody wants to be, so, you know.
Who inspired the song?
Actually, the song is just about, you know, the song's really about this kid. You know, I think everybody's an all-star inside, you know. Some kids get, you know, treated differently, but I think everybody's an all-star. You just got to find it inside yourself, so.
How about a song about Supercross? I've never heard one of those.
Well, that's coming next. That's
okay.
Next record.
I'll wait for
Jeremy. Steve Harwell, thanks a lot for
joining
us. It's great. Back to the racing time now as McGrath starts to inch back up. At the last lap, it was 2.37. Looks like it's closing within that now. And we got a 2.9 on the last interval.
This is going to be a gut check for Kevin Windham. He is going to have to withstand the most pressure of the season. Dallas, his win there. McGrath went down the first lap. Not taking away the fact that Kevin was fast there. He was fast. He matched McGrath's pace. Beat him in the heat race as well. But here, he's got pressure. He's got McGrath back there, and that bothers him. You see that he's gaining a little bit here, a little bit there, and you see lapped riders in front of you. You're starting to worry, going, I hope I can get through these guys. I hope I don't catch them in the wrong spot. You're thinking. When you start thinking too much, you start making mistakes.
Kevin Windham trying. A two-time winner this season. That would be 3 years in a row. But can he hold off as he passes the reward?
Gets around him, no problem. Upshifts right there. They come out of that corner probably in second. Upshift to third. Uh-oh. What a great reaction right there. Voss just went sideways across the track right in front of Windham. He was able in the middle of that whoop section to make the correction and avoid a disaster.
So a close call for Kevin Windham. We'll see if the same courtesy is given Jeremy McGrath as we take a look at the helmet cam. And Jeremy McGrath just went through the snow.
Vuillemin losing time now. I talked about at one point he was 11 seconds back. He closed it to 8. Now he's 12 seconds back. So the heat here may be starting to get to him. He had to use so much energy making all those passes. I think he could be a little tired. His spirit may be a little bit broken.
Jeremy McGrath looking for win number 7 Supercross Olympics.
Well, the fact that Jeremy doesn't ride all the outdoor races is pretty much it for Jeremy. He does not want to end his season with a second place.
I always had the feeling, too, that, hey, they're going to forget about his 7th championship if Vuillemin wins the Triple Crown. That's all anybody's going to remember out of this season.
Well, that's not going to happen now. It looks like with the positions, if they stay the way they are, Jeremy might pick up that consolation 25 grand. A win would make that a little bit better. Look how close he's getting now.
Jeremy McGrath now like a heat-seeking missile on number 14.
Shaved a second. We can see it, of course, but he shaved a second off of Windham's lead that time, and the crowd can sense that they have not sat down.
Jeremy McGrath, who this year became Yamaha's all-time winningest rider. And a big mistake by Kevin Windham. Press him and look, dig deeper.
That's exactly. Kevin's going to have to reach down deep to be able to hold off McGrath right here. He cannot ride a defensive race. I guarantee he's tight. He can't relax. He's got to just get back. I mean, if he's able to hold him off, what a victory this would be for him and his head and the rest of the season.
Jeremy McGrath wants his 10th victory of the season in the last race here at Las Vegas. Jeremy McGrath won his very first 125 race here in Las Vegas. It was on a Kawasaki. Let's go down to Robbie.
Well, with Randy Lawrence, and you know what? That tire change might be the difference. Randy, that little tread pattern might be making all the difference right now.
Well, I'm not sure if it's just that. He's riding a little bit better right now. Kevin's riding really good. We did change the tire. He's getting to the whoops a little bit better. He just caught back up to Kevin, and it's going to make an exciting race. We've got a few laps left, so we'll see what happens.
It'll be a close one, guys.
5 laps to go. And Windham and Jeremy McGrath. Jeremy McGrath gets the block pass on Windham. Can Windham come back now and make a good go of it? A lapper. Jeremy McGrath hops the bank. 5 laps. Focus, Randy Lawrence says.
He's yelling at him, the emotion in that mechanics area. I guarantee him McGrath can't hear a thing going through there. He sees the sign. It doesn't matter. Randy wants this for his rider just as bad as Jeremy. These guys love to win. Lapping Grayson Goodman, he's just enjoying watching this race. His last ride, his best friend in the lead. Pulls the tearaway, clears the vision. That just messes with the head of the guys behind. You pull that tearaway and he's going, uh-oh. He's confident. I've seen this before. Kevin's got to stay close and do the same back to Jeremy. Keep the pressure on. Very few people pressure Jeremy late in the race.
Check the pass again, David Bailey, on Kevin Windham by
just
number 1.
Coming out of the finish line, Kevin knew it already. Saw him look over right there. He left us a little bit too much room. Jeremy had an easy move of it. Just the inside away. I thought Kevin over there, using the left side, would have the inside at the end of that straightaway, could maybe get him back. That would have changed things quite a bit, but he just didn't have enough.
So Jeremy McGrath now with one mission in mind. That's just take away from number 14.
Now he's starting to inch away just a little bit.
And the question is for Windham, maybe, can he hold on to second?
You see that breathe, focus. Yes, you can. I mean, whatever they got to tell these guys, and it's good advice for Jeremy right now by Randy saying, breathe and focus, just like you've done a million times. In the breathing part, you're holding your breath sometimes out there. You've got so much going on. You're processing so much information, reading the track, shifting, clutch, where you're going to pass the guy that sometimes holds your breath. Now that he's got that little cushion, he can afford to relax, breathe, focus on the track, do what he's done so many times before. Win number 70 if he hangs on.
Jeremy McGrath, the winningest rider here in Las Vegas in a very short period of time. He has 3 wins prior to this. He should hold on. One was on a Honda, that was in 1994, and in the last 2 seasons back-to-back on the Chaparral Yamaha.
So many reasons for Jeremy to party as he gets a little out of shape there at the end of that whoop section here in Vegas. What a great place to cap the season. He won his 7th title. Looks like he's going to win the race. He's going to pick up the money. That's going to be a good party.
David Vuillemin coming into this race looking for $500,000, saying he's not going to bother his mind. But he just couldn't get around the very aggressive and talented Mike LaRocco.
I'll tell you what, Art, remember yesterday after the practice session, we were sitting up here watching things, and we saw Jeremy out there walking the track again with the team manager, Larry Brooks, after the practice. I mean, just didn't you get the feeling that he just was very focused and he wasn't going to just rest and go, I already got the title, I'll try, and if it's not coming to me, I'm not going to dig that deep. He does deep here.
And it's the first time I really remember him coming back after practice, the first day of practice, and walking the track with no one there except his team leader, Larry Brooks.
It's funny, too, talking with Brooks sometimes. Like, what do you guys talk about right there? He's going, oh, I mean, like, what are you going to tell Jeremy, you know? And he kind of laughed, and he goes, well, sometimes you look at a section that Jeremy's been able to jump before, and Brooks is saying, yeah, you can do that. And he's going, I don't know. He's going, yeah, but you did it something just like this in St. Louis. And he goes, oh, yeah, it surprises me the things that Jeremy forgets out there.
This will be the 14th win for Yamaha this season, their greatest season ever in Supercross.
I'll tell you what's going on behind McGrath, though. See that? Number 5 is closed in on Windham. I was about to say I'm impressed with Windham, even though he got passed. He was staying pretty close to Jeremy, and he has to. Look at LaRocco.
Yes. LaRocco wants the 2nd place.
They're only just under 4 seconds down. So LaRocco has got an opportunity.
Here's LaRocco making a bold move. He went to the outside this time. And Windham comes right back again.
Windham almost goes off the racetrack into the fence.
AMSOIL Honda of Mike LaRocco, the independent team, the highest points getter this season for a Honda rider.
2 to go, and LaRocco is close enough that he can make a move on McGrath if McGrath relaxes a little too much.
Would that be something? LaRocco, who has not won a race since 1995, He scored his very first 250 Supercross victory right here in Las Vegas back in 1991.
Let's take another look at how LaRocco got around Windham. There was no room back there. They went out of the stadium. He goes around the outside. That's what Vuillemin was trying to do to him. Almost lock elbows right there. And Kevin was just kind of dogging around this inside right here, trying to protect it, but he drifted wide. LaRocco just cut back to the inside and handled it.
LaRocco now trying to get by Manchu in the final lap as Jeremy McGrath looks like he's got win number 70, 10 on the season, pretty well wrapped up.
He was able to pull out about a second and a half that last lap. He gained some time somewhere. LaRocco made a little mistake. At just under 4 seconds, grew to 5.5.
There's our number 1, Jeremy McGrath.
We might see one more knack-knack before Jeremy takes his summer vacation. There it is.
McGrath and the crowd just loves it.
This guy's amazing. I question where he gets his drive, his motivation to go out and win. He really doesn't have to. I don't know. The guy just loves to win. He's here to win. He doesn't really ever want to rest, ride out his cushion. Talked about that last week in Joliet. Where he's improving.
If you count the 13 Supercross wins in the 125 action, plus and the checkers for Jeremy. Win number 10 on the season, win number 70 of a career. And if you count his 125 victories, he has reached the century mark in victories in AMA action.
Well, you know, I mean, who's done that? I mean, Richard Petty, well, he's got 100 wins. They call him the king. I think it's fair to say that Jeremy has got that status here in Supercross.
And he sets the fireworks off. David Vuillemin does not get the $500,000. I do believe he will get, though, the $25,000 consolation prize. We'll have to check the points out. The highest points maker of the 3 Vans Triple Crown races would get the consolation prize. With McGrath winning and Vuillemin placing in 4th, I believe he has 1 more point. There's 934, David Vuillemin.
He tried hard. He gave it everything he had. Didn't get the start he needed. He was close. I thought that may be close enough, but he had a tough time getting around LaRocco, made some mistakes, made up the time, but it took so much energy, he just ran out of steam down the stretch. Well, it would have been, you can see the frustration right there. He's mad. He is mad, disappointed. He wanted to win this. Kind of saved the fact that he didn't win the title.
And just the opposite is Jeremy McGrath with Davey Coombs.
All right, Jeremy, the fireworks going out behind you. 70 career wins. You just shut the Frenchman out of $500,000.
Well, you know, all the pressure was off me. It was on him. The monkey was on his back. He had to win. And Kevin and I had a great fight. You know, it was awesome. I'd like to thank my team, Mazda Chaparral Yamaha, all the guys at Yamaha, Randy Lawrence, my parents, my girlfriend, my sister, everyone that's supported me through the whole year. This is my 11th win this year. Bridgestone tires, because we made a different call from the heat race, and I was swapping out all over the place and put a new tire on there. The thing was working great.
Jeremy, congratulations. 7 titles, 8 overall, all-time Supercross king.
Thanks a lot, Davey. It's a great, you know, who would have thought I'd be up here even for 1? My dream was to race Supercross when I was little, and 70 wins later, I don't know what's going on. Thanks.
Well, David Vuillemin certainly did rise himself to the occasion, though, at times throughout the season to motivate Jeremy McGrath toward 10 victories this year. Jeremy, as you see on the Honda results page, taking this one the final race of the season as we go down the 20-rider field. Mike LaRocco gave it a good show.
Fireworks just not stopping here. What a show. What a better place to celebrate. And, look at it. The showgirls there in the background. McGrath obviously happy. Windham has got to be happy with the way he rode. But still a little bit of disappointment there.
Let's go to Robbie Floyd as the fireworks continue.
Well, not a bad finish for Michael LaRocco here. Mike, what was going through your head when you saw Vuillemin trying to pass you on the outside? That was a pretty close call there for a moment.
Yeah, actually, he ended up running off the track, but Jerry Bernardo painted my helmet this week, and he said whoever gets in front of me and roosts me, I should take out. And, you know, unfortunately, it happened to be Vuillemin who was going for the, 500 grand. But, you know, he tried hard early, and then I think he saw it was away, and I just tried to get up as far as I could.
Long way around on that outside. Now, what about towards the end also? Did you really think you were going to catch Windham with only a couple of laps left?
I saw he was on his way back, so I knew if McGrath got him that I had a real good chance because I was I was pacing Jeremy, so yeah, I wanted to get him. That was my last goal. I didn't think I could catch Jeremy, and that's where I ended up.
Well, guys, never give up. Back to you up in the booth.
Let's check out the final point standings for the season 2000 for EA Sports Supercross. As you see here, McGrath finishes the season 35 points ahead of Vuillemin. That is the slightest margin that McGrath has finished a winning season with. 48 was the previous slightest margin, so Vuillemin really did. He came to race, and he had a terrific rookie year. Let's go back down for the final thoughts now from Davey Coombs.
Well, obviously, Jeremy McGrath just proved again for the 70th time why we like to call him the king of Supercross. There's a lot of pressure, of course, on Vuillemin. He comes out here, he's got one race to go in the season. He's got the title already wrapped up, but you know what? It doesn't matter. MC likes to win, and he goes out in 2000, another winner.
David?
It's just unbelievable. And you know, he's said before, he doesn't want to be the fastest guy. He doesn't even need to be one of the fastest guys. He needs to be the smartest guy. He was patient in that race and let the race come to him.
Jeremy McGrath just proving once again what a great icon he is for the sport of Supercross. As the crowd very anxiously cheered his pass. And of course, the Knack-Knacks just put the exclamation point on another great season. His 7th championship in 8 years, but another time with 10 victories. This is the 4th time with 10 or more victories in a season.
I really have a hard time trying to think of anybody that has maintained and gone through generations of athletes other than somebody like Michael Jordan. But the kind of dominance that Jeremy has had to be able to win that many races every year. I mean, he had to deal with Jeff Stanton. He had to deal with Jean-Michel Bale, Damon Bradshaw. Then, you know, Windham comes along, now Vuillemin. But no matter who it is, he's always got an answer.
And just keeps being motivated by the fact of winning races, not just titles. Let's go down to Robbie.
Jeremy McGrath been in the past. Are you going to really take a vacation last year? You told us the same deal, and you worked just as hard as you always have.
And so it's going to be a tough one out there, but McGrath is the past and the present, but this guy is our future.
He's talking about Travis Pastrana right behind him. Maybe Travis might have an opinion on tonight's race as he, I know, viewed it from the sidelines down there. Travis? No, he can't hear us. Robbie?
Think about the race out there tonight. That was one heck of a battle for McGrath, and you'd had a pretty spiffy ride yourself.
Man, I feel this was just a great night all around. I got out to an awesome start with my Suzuki, and you know, had an awesome battle with Ernesto Fonseca, Greg Schnell going back and forth. That was a lot of fun. Then after that, just had to buckle down, and I was doing this one triple, so that really helped me out. And then Stefan Roncada really came through the pack.
Well, he's a rookie this year, guys. Look out in that outdoor series. All I got to see. Back to you.
This is Art Ekman along with David Bailey, Davey Coombs, and Robbie Floyd. Thanking you for being a part of Supercross history tonight, the first live televised Supercross ever in the United States. As we leave you, we'd like to take a look at more Supercross action. In fact, a tribute to Jeremy McGrath.
My plan to go out there is not only be the fastest guy or be one of the fastest guys.
Oh my God!
But my plan is to be smarter than everyone else.
Look at the focus and the intensity in the eyes of McGrath.
By the bar for a second, McGrath looks back at David Vuillemin.
And Jeremy just looked over at Vuillemin and rubbed it in.
Can they stay with Jeremy?
I know he's a rider that gets real confident, and when that happens, he's really tough to beat.
He knows when it comes race time, he can win. He's got so much confidence over everybody. Hopefully one or more of us can take him down and you know, make it interesting.
I want to come out and whip these guys, period.
Our leader, Jeremy McGrath, just simply pulling away.
He can just mail in second. He is so strong.
The winningest rider in history. And the checkers are starting to wave for Jeremy McGrath.
He always seems to find a way to go just a little bit faster than the next guy.
But McGrath right there, just giving a clinic.
McGrath the king once again for the 7th time in Supercross.
I mean, anybody, I can beat him one race. Anybody can beat him one race. It's beating him 16 races, and that's why he's champion.